Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. Don't forget to share this video, drop your comment, hit like, and turn your post notification bell on so you don't miss a video whenever I post. I'm just coming off the road, but I'm like, you know what? Let me talk to you guys. So what I really wanted to talk to you guys about is the new update on the IRCC website. It's about migrating to Canada or studying in Canada to be specific. So based on the new update, I think it says that they are now prioritizing people who studied in healthcare, trading, STEM, and transportation. And I'm not sure if a list of specific areas or specific jobs in these areas were listed or were given. So there's still some ambiguity, even though it's still new, because it will take effect on November 1st. So, over time they can share more information, be more specific, or at least that's what we're hoping for. And they also stated that depending on if you studied in a college or university, you will need to do an English exam in order to get postgraduate work permit. So if you studied at a university, you need at least seven in all four skills. And if you studied at a college, you need at least 5 in all 4 skills in each. Well, that's not hard. It's attainable, but I'm still saying to myself that for most people to come here, you don't necessarily need to do the English exam. But for those who needed to come here, I'm wondering if that English exam that you would have had, if it is still valid, I'm wondering if you can still go ahead and use it or you will need a new one. So, there are so many questions that need to be answered. But I am saying that if after doing a 2-year program, because I believe that in the current rule that's governing international students, only those who are doing like a master's program and I think a program 2 years or more will qualify for the postgrad work permit. So that being the case, you have studied for 2 years. I am assuming that you wouldn't need, or I would think that you wouldn't necessarily need an English exam because you've been through the system for 2 years. You have a job. Let's say you have a job and you're working that job. You need to do an English exam to continue the said job. It's kind of, I don't know. But, for me, I really just do things that I need to do to achieve what I need to achieve. I'm not usually a complainer, but my thing is in this whole situation. Oh, I'm not an international student, by the way, but I'm just speaking as if I were, because that's how I came here. That's how I became a PR, through being a student. But I'm saying that I don't like to be confused. I like to know that this is what I'm working towards. This is the step to get there. And at the end, when I do my part, I am going to get this. That is why I like doing things myself, because I know that if I'm working toward this, I will achieve this, right? But if you are constantly going to change it, that's when I'm going to get confused. And it's just, I hate to be all over the place. So imagine a student here studying, while you're studying, you're still looking for different pathways because that's the ultimate goal. And you have every day or every month or every 3 months, something is changing. Like, where do you stand? It's kind of confusing, but I hope that you still put through the fight. Don't get discouraged. Just keep being up to date with whatever changes they make. But to be honest, it's harder now. And I'm so happy that I studied when I studied, because right now I would be so discouraged. I mean, I would probably still fight because it's what I want, but I would be so discouraged because it's getting hard. Like, the whole process is getting so hard. It's no longer straightforward and knowing that, okay, you come to Canada, you study for 1 or 2 or more years, and then you go this for the Pgwp, and then after that you can apply for PR. Right now it's just all over the place. It's not even, I mean, previously it was never a guarantee that once you study you will get PR, but at least you would know that these are the steps that you need to take in order to get PR. So that made it easier. But as things are now, you're not even sure that after studying you will get PR. Like, that's how confusing it all is. because this doing the English exam and doing all of that is not to get PR, it's just to get postgrad work permit. So you're still temporary. So probably down the line, you will hear something like, oh, you're not gonna need proof of funds to get Pgwp. Like, you don't know. So you have to constantly be thinking ahead of the game and prepare for it. So make sure if you can, because I know that you're studying, you're spending money. So it's kind of hard to get money or to maintain money for PR. But I would advise that you at least try to put down money, try to pinch the money that you have in case a change states that you need to have money for Pgwp. But luckily in all of this, you don't need Pgwp to get PR. So that's the best part. So you don't necessarily have to get a Pgwp to get PR. Just make sure that while you're studying, you make use of your time. Seek different pathways where you know that, okay, you can jump on this one while you're a student. Or if you are not qualified while you're a student, as soon as you're finished, you can jump on this one, so that I believe you have 3 months extra after your program finishes to leave the country or for your visa to expire. So within that time, getting PR usually takes between 4 and 6 months. So what we had planned to do, if it didn't work out for us, was to bypass Pgwp, apply for the PR, and if it's still processing while we're in the country and our study visa expired, we would just apply for a visitor visa and use that. But that means you would not be able to work while you're a visitor. But you would know what to do based on the updates that you're getting from your PR application that you would have submitted. So there are just many ways to go about it. You have to do your research. Like, I know that you're studying, I know that you're busy, but if the end goal is to get the PR, you have to take on all those responsibilities while you're studying. You have to search for different pathways while you're studying, because you cannot just say, I'm going to depend on express entry, and when you look, your scores don't even, like right now they are like 500 plus. I don't even think there is a general express entry draw. It's either like a French or science or CEC. It's not the general one. So you just have to look for different pathways. And remember that if one province is not working out for you, there are lots more. You can move somewhere, go to another province, try another province. Don't just stay to this one and say, oh, I'm just hopeful that something will work out. You have to keep moving, guys. You are never settled until you get your PR. And even then, you're still working towards citizenship for some people. So you can't get comfortable. Sometimes you even have to change jobs. You may have a good paying job that is not willing to give you sponsorship for your PR, but because you want that money or you have done X amount of time there, you don't want to move and go to a job that's paying you less but willing to give you the PR. So you really have to find different pathways, different ways, different methods, like, you are never settled until that time comes. Like, in this regard, like, you're never settled overall. You will for most of your time, you will still feel like an immigrant. You'll still feel like an outcast. But like, as it relates to migration, getting your PR, getting permanent, don't settle. Like, consider yourself always on the go. Don't buy up a lot of furniture. Don't buy up a lot of stuff until you are permanent. Like, trust and believe. And trust me, guys, right now, if I was applying for migration, just in general, outside of Canada, like, I'm still in my home country, I feel like as things are now, I would have done the French route. Like, I would not have come the study route. I'm not discouraging anybody. I'm not telling anybody that they should not come and study. As I already mentioned, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have something in place. Make sure that you are doing what's necessary so that any card play, you will get a hand. A hand will be drawn for you. You have to research hard and do all of that. But I am saying that if I was still in Jamaica, wanting to come to Canada, seeing that things are changing so rapidly, things are no longer easy to come here as a student, I probably would have reconsidered coming as a student. Because one, most of us don't really want to come to Canada to study for study's sake. you really use that as a route for PR. And studying in Canada costs a lot of money. Considering all of that, I probably would have learned French. I mean, I know French, but I'm suggesting like somebody else. I probably would have just studied French because it's easier to study French and come through the French Francophone PR pathway. For example, it's less than, I believe that it's less than 500 Canadian dollars to learn French in Jamaica. And within like 6 months, of course, it depends on who you are, it depends on your interest, depends on how quickly you learn, all those factors. But if you are determined that this is what you want, you will put in the work. So let's say within 6 months, you can reach a level where you can do some exams. You can do your CXC exam in French. You can then move on to your DELF exams and, continue climbing up the ladder. Let's say after a year, you should have studied enough, done enough exam to make you feel comfortable enough to take that TCF for the TEF exam. I think it's a TEF or the TCF for the express entry. And in a year or two, you would be here as opposed to coming here, doing a 2-year program, and then it still don't work out. And if you do French, you would get a lot of points. Well, obviously it depends on what your points look like now. But you will get a lot of points and it will put you at an edge. It will put you a little above others. And you're more marketable because you know a second language. So coming here, you can get a job, a good paying job, or you can get a job that you don't really have to depend on just what you have experience in or what you have studied in from your home country, what your bachelor's in, for example. But you can also get a job that will give you the opportunity to speak French. So you will kind of be above the rest and you will spend less money. So when you come here, you're not even spending money, you're coming here as a PR. Like less things to worry about, but for a lot of people, they don't want to explore anything new. So you really have to think about that as well. But it's just an option. It is an option and it's a good option to learn French and to do the exam and just come as a PR. Because honestly, coming as a student, spending so much money and still be unsure as to whether or not you will achieve the end goal, it's discouraging. Let's use that word. So if you can do something where you're sure that it will work out, why not just try it? I'm so happy that I listened to my husband and I did not cancel the express entry application that we had going, because honestly, I would still have been in the pool by now. Well, in the English pool, in the regular express entry pool. But the good thing is that I know French. So for me, it's a win-win situation. I would have just taken the French exam and I would have taken that route instead of just staying in the regular express entry route. But it's not easy, guys. It is so not easy. And no, everything is so expensive. Like, things are really expensive in Canada. I'm telling you, if you are coming here, just make sure you have enough money so that any card play, you can be on it. Make sure that you do your research. That is so important. Make sure that you don't get comfortable because you probably will need to move to another province that's willing to make it work for you. Also, you have to be humble because if it's not working out and you know that you have tried your best, go to another country. If it's okay for you to go back to your country, go back to your country. I mean, it's not easy. I'm not going to come here and be a hypocrite because if I spend my money and come here, I want it to work out for me. Like, I'm not just going to get up and go back to my home country, but don't let it be because of shame face. Some people are willing to go back to their country if they see that it's not working, but the shame face is what's preventing them. Not necessarily the fact that things are not working out and they're not willing to do this anymore, but it's just the shame face, what people will say, what people, but don't let that be the case for you. If it's not working out for you and you're willing to go back, don't make what people have to say, don't make how you will look stop you from going back, stop you from starting over. It's okay. Like, it is okay. The fact that you tried in the first place is good enough. But keep going, guys. It's not easy. Keep going. Make sure you have your plans in place. That's the most important thing. Planning and money. Those two things are what will put you above the rest where migration is concerned. When you plan well, which will include researching, and when you have your money. Once you have your money, the transition will be smoother for you. So make sure that you pinch your money, make sure that you're smart, make sure that you don't come live lavish and pretend as if, oh, everything is going fine for you, you live a foreign. Like, no. Keep the humility, lie low. When you're permanent, then you can start doing whatever at that point. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your feedback in the comment section. Don't forget to hit like, turn your post notification bell on, share this video with anybody who can find it useful. Until my next upload, bye.